Well, I directed in the first season, so they weren't quite sure yet how big a success it was, but it was already pretty successful. Even, I think it was episode 14 or something.
No! I know!
And I understand people even learn English in Russia by watching Friends, which is amazing. And also I've been to the cafes in Moscow that are called Friends, and I even sent a picture of the sign to my friend David Crane because I don't think he'd ever seen it. So I sent a text to David that was of the cafe Friends in Russian. I said, I'll bet you this isn't licensed, right? And he goes, no, it doesn't matter, who cares? It's thought about that, and I've tried to figure it out because I'm thinking, why is Friends so popular in Russia? You know, the only thing I've come up with, I don't know if this is a good answer, but the only thing I've come up with is we really like these people. We really like how they treat each other. And no matter what, they're always friends. They can hate each other for a second and have a problem and have an argument, but they always come back to being best friends. And I think we wish the world was like that.
This is madness. It's madness, I tell you, for the love of God, Monica, don't do it!
Well, my great-grandparents come from Odessa and Minsk. So, you know, I used to say I'm 100% Russian, but then my Russian friends said, no, say Belarus. So I guess I'm 100% Belarus in my genes. Everybody in America is an immigrant. Everybody. It just depends on how far you go back. There's nobody here who's not an immigrant. So this idea that we're against immigrants right now, it's almost like saying we're against ourselves, because everybody in America is an immigrant. There's no such thing as somebody born here. Everybody came from somewhere. Yeah. Everyone, except for the Native Americans. I feel very at home in Russia, and I've been to Moscow 4 times now, and 4 separate visits, and I feel very comfortable in Moscow. And I don't speak the language very well, but I still feel it feels home to me. So I guess that must be because of my roots. They have a special 25th anniversary edition of condoms.
Oh.
They come in 3 sizes. The Ross, the Chandler, and the Joey.
Well, what I do is I look a woman up and down and I say, hey, how you doing?
Oh, please.
Hey, how you doing?
You know, sitcoms like Friends are done in 5 days. So my experience was on Monday, you show up, you read the script, and the actors all want to go home because they just shot an episode last week. So they don't want to work on Monday because Monday is too hard. Mm-hmm. So this is true not just of Friends, it's true of all the sitcoms. So they all go home at noon. Now, these people are paid a pretty good salary to go home at noon, but anyway, they go home at noon. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you make the show. Sitcoms are always shot in front of a live audience like a stage play. So the actors are facing one direction to the audience, much the same as a stage play, but the cameras are catching them from there are 4 cameras usually. And sometimes you have to tell the audience to be a little quiet. You have to kind of instruct the audience. And the way that I do it is, there's a stand-up comedian, and he makes the audience laugh, warms them up, and for about a half hour before the show starts, the stand-up comedian is warming up the audience with jokes. That's all on a separate track. The audience is recorded like a separate track, so they can dip them out or in whenever they want. So they are live, but they're controlling it. They also do a thing in American sitcoms called the sweetener track. This guy rides this machine. It has pedals and handles, and he makes the audience sound richer or applaud longer or make them laugh louder, and that's called the sweetener, and they add that to the real audience. They were very talented, they had a great connection, and they were very smart comedians. Lisa Kudrow, who is Phoebe, may be one of the most talented comedians I've ever met, and like all comedians, is secretly sad. As a real person, she's very kind of depressed and sad all the time, and then when she's performing, you'd never know it.
Thank you.
I've been to Moscow many times. I was so stupid in the beginning, I thought, what is this pektopa? I see pektopa everywhere. And I didn't even know the alphabet, so I didn't even know it was Restorania. So I said, what's pektopa? And I was asking everybody, what is pektopa? That's how bad my Russian was. So the second time, I'm not doing that again. So I got a little better. The third time I got a little better. The fourth time I got a little better. And then I really, about the third time, I said, I want to learn this language. I want to not be always so stupid in this language. So I've tried. We say babushka. In Russian, it's babushka. But the difference between, well, it's like bisat and bisi. I probably shouldn't say that, but for Americans, we don't say that. We don't say a syllable like that. In fact, we're pretty flat. We say everything kind of the same way. Смотри US 51.
Okay, here we go. Okay, thank you very much.